So this is the Google Pixel 3a, and it is by far the easiest phone for me to recommend any of my friends, anyone that asks me in general, what phone should I buy in 2019? This is what I'd be telling you to buy. So the biggest feature by far of this phone is simply its price. So this phone retails at $399 as of brand new, first day one. No doubt in a few months time it will be cheaper than that. You'll be able to get a special deal. I recommend you look if you're interested in this phone and seeing what you can get for your money. I'll put a link to where you might be able to find it down in the description below. But $399 for a phone that is feature packed as this is just a no-brainer. One of the biggest features that you probably are looking for in a budget phone and where you will find normal compromises is the camera. But in the Google Pixel 3a, there is no compromise in the camera. It is fantastic. So it's not as powerful as the top tier phones from Google or other phones for that matter. It is slightly slower in taking photos. However, one of the cool things is, despite the fact it's a little bit slow, you still get insane photographs, and honestly, probably better than most phones over 700, like double the price of this phone. What Google is doing with the AI and the technology behind the lens and behind the screen, if you like, is really powerful, and it allows them to use less power to get the same, if not better, results through Google's technology. Okay, it has a great camera, but what about the storage options of this phone? Well, it doesn't really matter because this phone has free backup to Google Drive, and it allows you to store all your photos away in the drive so you can upload them after a day of shooting and free up the memory on the phone, which is great. A lot of services like Apple, there's hundreds of cloud services, all charge you money. Google Photos with Pixel phones give you free storage for backup photos, which is just awesome. One thing that I'm a huge fan of as well is stock Android, and what that means, I'm sure most of you know, but if you don't, stock Android means there's no bloatware. So if you buy something like a Samsung phone or even an Apple phone or any other Android phone from anyone that isn't Google, they'll put their own spin or flavor on Android's operating system, but coming straight out of Google, they don't want to mess around with anything in this phone. Comes clean, comes stock, no bloatware, really efficient, beautiful. Not only that, but you also get updates sooner than everyone else. So usually it takes 6 months, 8 months, a year to upgrade to the next operating system that Google put out there. But with Google Pixel phones, you get the latest downloads, the quickest downloads for safety features, which is really important for most people. So if you want to make sure you're up to date as quickly as you can be, Google Pixel is a good choice. And the other good thing about this phone is the specs. Now, a lot of people might say the specs aren't that great on paper. Well, they're not that great on paper compared to phones more than double the price of this phone. Comparatively speaking, the specs you're getting on this phone for the price you're getting is really, really good. And you won't be disappointed with the performance. You won't be disappointed with the screen. The screen is beautiful, looks great, and for the price, you're getting great specs that will last you a good few years. Google also decided to put a headphone jack on this phone, which in my opinion was a great move because the people who are spending less on phones probably less likely to have Bluetooth headphones, which typically are really expensive. So it makes sense that they would put a headphone jack on the phone, and I think that's a great feature to have for people that are still using headphone jacks. I don't personally use them, but I know if you do, it's annoying. You take up the charging spot and you can't listen and charge. That's annoying. So having 2 slots, one for power, one for headphones, for someone who doesn't have Bluetooth headphones is a really good feature to have on this phone. Now, this is a great phone and I would definitely recommend it to anyone looking for a brand new Android phone in 2019, but there are some things to consider. The first thing is the build quality. Now, the build quality itself is fine, but it doesn't feel premium. It's this polycarbonate plastic basically that covers the phone. It's nice and lightweight. I actually really like the fact it's lightweight, but it does feel plastic. It doesn't feel as premium as even its older brother, the Pixel 2, which is probably now, if you could find one, the same price, feels more expensive. They both weigh the same, roughly, but because it's plastic, it definitely feels cheaper. Whether that matters to you is a different story, and that's most of the things in the trade-offs. Like, if you're a practical person, if you're not someone who lives on the bleeding edge of technology, who needs the latest and great and just wants a good feature phone, there's nothing wrong with the build quality. There's nothing wrong with it feeling cheaper if you don't care about that. Like, not everyone needs the latest and greatest. Not everyone wants the best phone. Not everyone wants to feel like if they drop it, it's going to cost them $1,000. So for them to make a phone that, yes, has all these features and kind of feels practical rather than expensive is maybe not that much of a trade-off. That's literally the only other thing I can think of, really, is it's not going to be the star of the show. You're not going to pull this out, bam, at a gathering or a dinner or an evening, and everyone's going to be like, wow, your phone's incredible. You pull out maybe the Galaxy Fold, and everyone's be like, whoa, what is that? That is insane. If you want to be that guy, then you're going to have to fork for it. But if you just want something practical, something good with features, doesn't cost you insane amount of money, then the Google Pixel 3a is just a really smart decision. And that is why, if anyone asks me what phone they should buy in 2019, at the moment, it's the Google Pixel 3a. It does everything you want it to. It does everything you want it to well. And the only drawback is it doesn't feel as expensive as a $1,000 phone. But the truth is, it's not $1,000, it's $400. So if you can live with that, this is the best phone for you. Alright, this is ShockBox. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.